I need to add a modifier called edit boolean or edit meshes. I used edit boolean last time, but I can use edit meshes this time, so it won't make much difference. The second one is newer. I select the vertex and choose the letter Q. I hope it works. I'm not sure if it took the letter from here or not. You can see how it looks. If there's one loose point, things will go wrong and the program will get upset. Besides the vertex, there's another command like bevel and extrude. I just want detach to separate the Q from Qasim. The edit mesh modifier is the same as edit boolean. I deleted the edit mesh. I just wanted to delete this part. Click on it and hit delete. Then I add another modifier called edit boolean, the same as before. I selected the vertex and now I'll choose the Q points separately. I have the Q. There's a command here different from vertex commands like bevel and extrude. I have detach, delete, create, break, and attach. I just want detach. To separate the letter Q from Qasim, the edit mesh modifier is the same as edit boolean. I can delete and start over. I deleted edit mesh. I just wanted to delete this part. Click and hit delete, then add edit boolean as before. I selected the vertex and chose the Q points using control. I wanted it easier. I got all Q points using control. We used extrude and bevel yesterday. Here I want detach to separate it. So you have detach, and I'm saying detach. The edit mesh modifier is the same as the edit boolean modifier. I can delete and start over. I deleted the edit mesh. To remove a part, click and hit delete, then add the edit boolean modifier again. I selected the vertex and selected the Q points separately using control. I didn't like the font type controlling me. I wanted it easier. I got all Q points with control. We used extrude and bevel yesterday. Here, I want detach to separate it. I've separated the Q. Now it's an object. To avoid confusion, I can name it Q later. I want to grab the A points to avoid mixing up. I'll take the A, but I accidentally grabbed some of S. I'll press Alt, opposite of control. I use control to select points. I got all the points of the Q using control. We used extrude and bevel. Here, I want detach to separate it. So you have detach here. I've separated the Q, and now you have the object of the letter Q. I can name it Q, but not now. I want to grab the points of the letter A to avoid mixing up. I accidentally grabbed a bit of the letter S. So I'll press Alt, opposite of control, to remove points. If I want to take points, I press control. This is the letter A. Let's grab the handle and pull it. Now let's move to the letter S. Here are the points of the letter S. Separated Q. Can name Q later. Grab points of A, avoid mix-ups. Accidentally grabbed S, press Alt, opposite of control. Remove points with Alt. Take points with control, say detach. Letter A, grab handle, pull. Perfect A, move to S, select points of S, take S points with control, detach. Enough for now. Adjust wider eye. Done. Got it. So to remove points, I press Alt while selecting. If I want to take points, I press Control while selecting and say detach. This is the letter A. Let's grab the handle and pull it like this. Yes, that's the letter A. Perfect. Now, let's move to the beautiful letter S. I'll also select my selection here. And here are the points of the letter S. I took the points of the letter S using control with detach and got the S. I wrote Qasim. It looks odd. The eye is wide, adjusting this area. Now grab the eye point. Points are blue. Need to zoom for points. Got them all. Grab the last letter M. Almost done. Select upper parts. Press control for circular part. Zoom in and grab. Got M right. Press detach. Now many objects and text with university. This is the point of the eye with this part, and you can see the points in blue. I haven't taken my hand off control until now. I can't get these points unless I zoom in. Yes, like this. I think I've got them all. I'll say detach as well. Now let's grab the letter M, the last letter. We're done, God willing. I'll do the selection like this, or I'll grab those upper parts, all of them, and then I'll press control to get this circular part. I'll zoom in with the mouse wheel and grab these. So I've got the letter M almost right, and I'll press detach as well. That's enough for now. Let's get the word university all together. Now I have a lot of objects here, and I have the text plus the word university. Okay, great. So I'll go back and grab the whole shape. Here you have the parts of the letter M. I can actually grab it piece by piece, but I'll completely step out of this area to grab the letter M. I'll rename this object to M. So this is now called M. So what is this called, you might wonder, this verse? This is my very nice correspondence. So now tell me please, what letter or correspondence exactly is this from all of those ones I've made? This particular one right here happens to be the letter S. It's actually considered as being specifically referred to as the second instance of an S because I have a division labeled under S1, and indeed it's important to note that first occurrence of an S stands separate from what we call S1. You have the letter. This is the first letter in the English language. This is the object that will be the... So I was able to perform an operation from the left for the letters. Now I can grab the letter I want from here, of course, using the transform tool that I explained yesterday. Now I can grab the letter I want from here. With the transform tool, of course, that I explained yesterday, you can still hold anything. Shapes share a center, fixed by assigning each a unique center. Q, A, S, I, M. Rotating the Q, it rotates around its center. Same for the M. To fix this, each shape needs its own center. Identify each center. Activate hierarchy. Set each center. Now each has its own center. Q, A, S, I, and M. Each is an object. Q and university are objects. Each has its own center. Previously, all shared one center, not one center. I go and activate the hierarchy, open the center point, and tell it that I want each shape's center point to be in its center. So now I've created an independent center point for the Q, an independent center point for the A, an independent center point for the S, and for the I and M. Each word or object, I don't care about the letter or word, it's an object to me. The Q is an object, and the university is an object. Each one of them has its own independent center point. It used to be that each of the two, each one has an independent center point. Each one had a center point, but it was the same center point as the whole shape. Would you say it is one center point? No, it is not one center point. Each one had its own center point, but they were all stacked on top of each other in one spot. Now, I've separated the center points. Each one has its own center point. So when you say the S, I can make it move around itself. It will move around itself without affecting the other shapes. And because of the prayer, I'll finish the prayer while we're standing in the area where each one has its own separate center point from the others. Thank you very much, and please allow us to take a break for prayer, and we'll return in half an hour to continue with these moving letter exercises. If there's time, we'll give you something else as well, God willing. Thank you, and peace be upon you, and God's mercy and blessings. In the area where each one has its own separate center point from the others, I thank you all very much. Please allow us to take a break for prayer, and we'll return in half an hour to continue with these moving letter exercises. If there's time, we'll give you something else as well, God willing. Thank you, and peace be upon you, and God's mercy and blessings.